Benny, welcome back, man, to the compound, my guy.
Yes, sir, man. I like this spot.
Thank you, man. I mean, it's amazing because when you just told me you was at the original compound in the Bronx from day one. But when I look at you as, people put you just as a musician artist and even the Griselda. But when I look at art, you cover a couple lanes. So coming to the new compound, when you see all the different attributes of art in here, what you think seeing. Plus, you literally was at the gallery, my compound gallery, when I got the keys day one.
Fire.
In the Bronx. And I literally think y'all came back after that and did the Double XL story.
That's a fact.
And so, like, you seeing the compound from the Bronx to now coming to Brooklyn, but, like, what do you when you first look at the new space, what do you feel?
Man, I feel it's a whole totally different vibe. You know what I'm saying? The other spot, it was more brighter. You know what I'm saying? And here, like, even the lab to the walls, and just to see you doing a sports thing with Kiss and that area right there, just, you know what I'm saying? It's very expressive of you. I see you in here, you know what I'm saying? From that moment to this one. And, you know what I mean? Like, I was in a different position when we met that first time too, so.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? It's a nostalgic feeling coming in here, you know what I'm saying? Knowing what you do and what you stand for and everything.
No, thank you, my guy. So the compound, of course, is about basically how things come together in the journey. So, and a lot of times in media, everybody's gonna jump to like the album, of course, which we'll touch on later. But you got a lot of fans that don't know the story. They know Buffalo. They might only know from the Bills, but they don't know like, I want to go all the way back to the beginning and then educate the old listener.
Let them know. We gotta let them know how we got here. You know what I'm saying? We gotta let them know.
So when you the start of it, like, where is it? What side of Buffalo? What's the name of the place? And what was it like? What is when you think of Buffalo? What do you think about?
Man, when I think of Buffalo, I think of a small community. It's a white collar city. Well, one side is African American. Okay. One side is Latino. The north side is upper class white people.
Yep.
And South Buffalo is like all three. Lower class white people though.
Okay.
And I just think of, good times, cold weather, good food. I think of dark times too. Cloudy days.
Yeah, the weather matches.
It's almost its own world. Buffalo is its own world. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing like Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo never even felt like New York. Like,
never, not for 1 minute. You know what I'm saying? And I try to explain people that, but you gotta come there, and not only you gotta come there to get the vibe of Buffalo, you have to be there a little bit. You have to visit there a few times to understand it. You know what I'm saying? Because you might go there one time and I see nobody out. You might come back and see people out. But when I got to bring your homies to Buffalo, they pointed out to me that nobody's never outside. I didn't notice it because it was normal.
But is that well, in the summer, is that the weather in the winter, or is it just period, nobody outside?
A lot of times, like, people do be outside in the summer, but you really got to ride down blocks.
To see people.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why is it. I mean, I hate to be negative and say because the obvious, you know what I'm saying? But most likely that's what it's like. You know what I'm saying?
So let's go into, like, family for you. I look at it as in pillars, right? It's a music family.
Right.
And then, you has a music family with Griselda.
Yeah.
You got a music family with BSF. But then you got your own family, which is very visual and apparent, how you show your daughters and your love you got for your family.
Exactly.
But the growing up, the first family, like, what was how was Buffalo growing up? Was it mom, dad, brothers, sisters? What was it's having that, because like I said, your family's a part of your brand, like all those pillars, but what was the start of family for you?
The start of family for me, it definitely was mom, dad, family gatherings. We used to always have family reunions. You know what I'm saying? The Lowry family, my mom part of the side of the family, which Wes and Con come from.
Okay.
Always was at family reunions in Alabama, Kentucky, in the 90s, early 90s, in Georgia, Thanksgiving. We always had that at 52 Montana. You know what I'm saying? The kids, we all ate together. I'm saying, got real familiar with my cousins. Same thing on my father's side, you know what I'm saying? My cousin JR, you know what I mean? And just, I remember playing ball with him. You know what I mean? We used to be on punishment when you get on punishment, you go to my pops. And I used to see him there. It's like meeting in the bullpen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We both in trouble. We at my pops' house. But, you know what I'm saying? I always was big on family. Wes is too.
No, it's a fact.
You know what I mean?
It's a fact.
Griselda definitely big on family. I hope people could see that. And family always been a part of my life. You know what I'm saying?
So let's go to now the next, like, the family of Griselda growing up. Like, what was little Benny, little Con, little West Side? Because it never changes, you know. Like
it never changes.
Like
man.
the fashion was probably there with y'all as young kids, listening to hip hop as young kids.
Right.
Like, what was the little young Griselda like?
The little young Griselda was, you know what I mean. Wes always curating. Always curating. He used to have he used to always have a clothing line. I remember they had the headbands, you know what I'm saying? He used to have a name on them. I forgot the name, but it was like a designer name on the headbands. And I'm like, at this time, I'm probably like in 6th grade. You know what I'm saying? These boys probably like at the most freshmen in high school.
Ninth grade.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We was Forerunners. Before Griselda, we was Forerunners. A name.
That was the first group.
Yep. We was Street Entertainment.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We, you know, we still say Street Entertainment, so we kind of is still Street Entertainment, but we had different names. So we always was doing this. It was always like, yo, come to the studio, and you know, just listening to the dopest shit.
So, but before the studio, was it just listening to music, hip hop, like as little, like y'all was always the fans of the music? Always
fans of music. Always fans of music. I remember getting CDs and tapes for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Always getting Walkmans and CD players for Christmas. Always was a fans of music and always exchange tapes and CDs from each other.
At the young age.
Always watch videos together. Always discussed it. You know what I mean? It's like I always remind people they a couple years older than me, so I can remember the first time like hearing these boys on a CD on wax. It's like I can't believe it.
Like they did it.
And it's like the dopest shit I heard in my life. I promise you not.
Nah, that's a fact. That's
and
a
I
fact.
mean, and I'm like, this y'all? They're like, yeah.
Like, this is us though. Literally.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But you know, this is before I was allowed to come through. You know what I'm saying? To get it. So I'm just hearing it.
For the first time.
I'm hearing the stories and I'm seeing them move before I got accepted. It didn't last too long. I got accepted in quick, but
yeah.
I watched on the sideline, you know what I'm saying, before I got accepted in to come through and rap.
So before basically you learned from your cousins, they cousins and big bros, but when was that moment you heard hip hop and been like, oh, this is what I'm doing? Or was it them or was it even before Griselda?
It was way before that. Me, Wes, Machine Gun Black, I remember this. We used to watch another Bad Creation video. You know what I'm saying? And we used to act like that was us. We used to pick the parts. I'm such and such. I'm such and such. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And we used to watch it. And we used to do the dance moves when the girls, at the end of the video, when the girls was chasing.
Wasn't it Aisha?
Aisha.
Aisha, that
you know
was
what I'm saying?
it.
And other songs though too, but definitely Aisha. When the girls was running up, we used to act like it was us running from the girls and shit.
Y'all was trying to
You know
get
what I'm
Aisha.
saying? For real. So I remember that, you know what I mean?
Yep. Was now, me growing up, right, Pop, because I started DJing Pop, it was one of the things always stuck in my head. My Pop was like, yo, the Four Tops will bust Rakim ass. And he was like, you know, the Temptations will destroy Run DMC.
Damn.
And I was like, this is blasphemy. But,
For real.
you know, for us, it was blasphemy.
Right,
but
right,
for
right.
you, growing up with Fed, was it a generation of music before in your household that lent it? Like, because for me, Buffalo to me was always, when I found out Rick James was from Buffalo. And it's funny because Rick, it had a bunch, besides the crazy side, he had the fashion was in Buffalo. The music was, you know, I don't know if you've seen the doc, but Rick was transporting drugs from Canada.
Rick was cold.
Yeah, Rick was cold, but it was a lot of things, and I was like, yo, it's got to be something up in Buffalo. So,
yo, you absolutely right. How you could see we Griselda, you know, Khan got drum work, and BSF, man, it's a bunch of old crooners back home. There's a bunch of old crooners back home who will tell their stories like, yo, I used to be with Rick. I used to play the guitar for Rick. Like, it's a bunch of them. That's a fact.
So
there's a bunch of them.
Growing up was like in the household, because sometimes that music bug is already in you from, was it there with your family before rap and Griselda?
Definitely. Like I always say this, Johnny P's Caddy came from, and Wes named that song. But my pops was known for pulling up in that clean caddy, playing the dopest hip hop shit ever. You know what I'm saying? We talking all the shit we know, EPMD. What else? Guys, I'll be naming it. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. I'm thinking of the ones I remember. Top Billin', I remember that.
Yeah, Milk and Giz.
I remember Boss. Remember the female rapper Boss?
Yeah, from the West Coast.
Yep. He was playing that. Just a whole bunch of records. D Nice. You know what I'm saying? Special Ed. All of that. My pops played all of that. You know what I mean? And I got a real hip hop lesson sitting in the backseat of the caddy growing up. You know what I mean? So that he was a DJ. My pops used to have the ones
12s?
and twos set up in the kitchen.
In the kitchen?
In the kitchen.
Ooh, so the family in the kitchen.
We waking up to that on Saturday morning.
So the kitchen always was in the family business.
Definitely.
From a couple different ways.
And then I moved my ones and twos in there.
So, all right, now I'm going to go into like, you were sitting in the cut because you said it before. You got to sit back and see Khan and West Side, do what they do. But it was Trick Daddy had a line when he was in prison. He was like, I was sitting around making plans for this.
Yeah.
And it seemed like that was the same mindset you was in, like, basically being a student or studying, but living it at the same time. Was that the way you looked at it? Like, okay, I see what fam is doing, I see what's going on with the game, but let me really study it before I let the world know who I am. 100%,
because I got so much respect for the art and so much respect for what they was doing. That it's like, man, I gotta come correct. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can't just come through just because I'm buzzed and I'm related. I gotta come correct. I had respect for what they was doing. Like when I say this in my interviews, I mean that. You know what I mean? Like I look up to them dudes. You know what I'm saying? Because they put me up from my bootstraps all the way up here. And not by the opportunities. You know what I'm saying? That was an easy thing. By showing me what needed to be done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, I've been watching Conway go crazy on niggas for years and years. Almost 30 years. I've been watching Westside curate and be who he is, and I'm saying to set trends for the same amount of time. Real shit.
So one thing that I'm gonna say it doesn't run a lot in just the human race is patience.
Right?
It's patience and like jealousy and probably all the seven sins seeps in, especially in the entertainment world.
Yeah, for real though.
What had you? It's a word I look at in life is balance, right? What to be able to sit back and wait and understand what was the mindset of being like, okay, I know my turn is coming. And it's funny because now the slogan is the butcher's coming.
Exactly.
I have a line in my life I always say is putting the plan together.
Right.
And what that means to me is kind of similar to the butcher's coming. It's like there's never no finish. Because like even if you get the goal, if you accomplish all your goals, you still gonna say the butcher's coming.
People are like, no, the butcher here. I'm like, no, the butcher's coming,
still
nigga.
coming. It's never the
we
same with me.
We ain't gonna lose that effect. The butcher's coming.
So I'm the same, like I'm putting the plan together. They're like, but you accomplished it. No, I didn't. You might have think, but what was the mindset for you to be that patience, but you always knew you was coming, and for the kids, pause?
Man, to be honest with you, man, I'm like that. You know what I mean? And I've been a hard worker, and I've been hungry, and any opportunity I ever got, I made the most of it. You feel what I'm saying? And I knew it. I was comfortable in that. That goes back to anything. You know what I'm saying? When I seen the block working, when I knew when I got out there, I knew what I was going to do. You know what I'm saying? Walking past the hustlers, I'm jumping on the school bus now. But when it's my turn, watch this. You feel what I'm saying? So I sat back. They made me believers. It was nothing to rush. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing these dudes buy foreigns and rock jewelry and rub shoulders with who they rubbing shoulders with. It was nothing to rush. Destiny was set. It was about trusting the family and trusting the Griselda cloth and what was next. And I pride myself on that because that's the reason I'm here. You know what I mean? My patience, because I understood the plan and I believed in the plan. It was nothing to rush. Soon as I seen these boys do it, I knew I was next up. I knew it was my turn. Just keep doing what I'm doing, stay consistent, and feed the scorpion. Nothing is bigger than the scorpion. Make sure I'm representing the scorpion. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
So you had a work ethic. And it's funny because I know all three of y'all ended together and individually, but the work ethic came from when I first met Gunna. I'm doing an album in a weekend. I'm doing an album in a week. Conway, like I'm doing a whole mixtape in 4 days, like. Right. So, before I got to meet you and understand and see it, that work ethic was showed to me. But now you've been doing it, my research is correct, 2004. But your work ethic is always, because your work ethic to me had to be different because you had to cut through.
Right.
They was already there.
Exactly.
So when you look at your work ethic, what is that to you? Like to the fans, like what is to help you get to achieve to the level you were at?
Man, I gotta get this one to DJ Shay. Because I met DJ Shay in 2000. Rest in peace, DJ Shay. I met him in 2004. Before then, I've been running around and featuring on their stuff, and you know what I'm saying. Yep. But 2004 was the first time I did something and dropped it on my own, and that's the year I met DJ Shay. And you know, when he seen my talent and he seen the path I was on, he put me in and made sure I had that studio and kept the doors open for me. So being able to walk into that studio, I took advantage of that. When everything was going on in the hood, I was in the studio. Once I got that opportunity, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I got used to being in the studio for 20 years now. A place that I can call my own, where I can go in there, not where I gotta buy studio time or nothing. Yep. The doors is just open. When I want to come through here, come through here. And I took advantage of that, and that got me used to you know, just working. When everybody got the lights on them, I'm just working. When we signed a Shady deal, you know, those boys, they was running around. They was stumping their feet on the ground for this. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I was okay with staying in the house working on 10 to Talk 3. I was okay with just, you know, learning and picking Derringer brain, and you know what I'm saying, and just, you know, just being a student of the game. I enjoyed that part. You know what I'm saying? I actually missed that part. You know what I mean? So when you rap, right? To me, it's always, to me, you are, it's an organic hood vulnerability I never heard. Right.
Like, you know, it's like Drake has that vulnerability with his feelings when it came to the women. You're like the first artist to me that was vulnerable, but still a rapper's rapper, right? A man's man, your brother. You have the 360 of a man to me on music. You my cousin, my brother, my friend. You the father. You can jump out in any hood, anywhere. You good.
Exactly.
You know, but to me it was a balance. It's a balance that you have created, and like you said, it's like it was the block world, which was 48 hours in a day. Right, for sure. But then it was a student that was learning another 48 hours in a day. How did you balance these worlds? Because I was watching Scarface audio wise when I hear you. I'm watching, you know, Paid in Full when I hear your music, and it's real. But I was like, where's the time? How did the balance happen for you doing both of those worlds? Because that's two real heavy worlds to live.
No, for sure. And man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm a different type of person, and you know what I mean. I did everything, and I did everything good. You know what I'm saying? By the blessing of God. You know what I'm saying? I always like try to like pick people's brain who wasn't in the streets too. You know what I'm saying? I tell the story all the time how I used to clean the Bill Stadium. You know what I'm saying? But when I went to prison, I taught class in prison. I was a tutor in prison. When I went to Sunday school, when I'm like in 4th grade, I'm teaching Sunday school. It was times I taught Sunday school. You know what I mean? Like I've been blessed with the hand of God. You know what I'm saying? That's really all I could say. The Lord been in my favor, and I always, like, you know, the first, man, my first ever plug was a person who had a college degree and was giving me work and had a studio that I could go to. You know what I'm saying? I hit the jackpot when I was 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he wasn't like a street nigga. I'm from Montana Avenue, so like he wasn't like a super street nigga, but his family was. You know what I'm saying? He was in a Green family. Everybody knows Sly Green. Yep. He was in a Green family, and he was that type of person. So he wasn't a dumb corner nigga. You know what I'm saying? He sold bricks. You know what I'm saying? He had a college degree from UB. You know what I'm saying? And he had a studio, and he had other businesses. And I got to sit up under him like when I'm 16, 17 years old.
So that was some of the knowledge to who you are today.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And I'm that type of person. Nobody will know the things that I've been through if I don't tell them. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't wear it on me. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the things that I do speak about in my music, the vulnerability, I be having to let people know what I really went through. I seen this clip of the interview I did going viral I swear I never spoke about that in the interview, and I probably shouldn't have. Then just telling about how my first wife left me when I was in prison, and how she wrote me a letter about how she was sleeping with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like she was asking for my advice. You know, and I'm like, What's she trying? She trying to kill me? You feel what I'm saying? But you know, I want people to know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I want people to know, like, I've been through some shit.
That's what the other thing. When I listen to your music, it's a storyteller, but it's also a teacher. Mm-hmm. And you know, as a man, and especially as a black man, communication is lacking in our communities, in our homes, in our family. But there's very few artists that communicate through their music that is teaching. Like, you know, it's a generation of kids that grew up on Jay, like your record, 97 Hove. Mm-hmm. It's
For
like,
sure.
That was some of your lessons, you know, that made you turn around 10 or whatever, 15 years later and make a song. Sure. You know, I heard Meek say before, Kiss was one of his people that he grew up on listening to that. And it was like, you know, when I was starting to study more your music, I said, wow, he's one of the realists that come from what it is,
right?
But with a vulnerability, right. That's still a real man. It's 100%. It's rare. It's
100%, man. And you know, I don't, you know what I mean? I don't got children out of wedlock or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a God-fearing man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a hustler. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like I did everything by the book. You know what I mean? Can't nobody from my neighborhood say that I did them wrong. If I didn't give them an opportunity, it's because they wasn't ready for it. You know what I'm saying? Or we wasn't on them terms. Yeah. you know how people like to act like y'all on them terms? We not. Like, white bro, and look out for me. You know we barely know each other. Stop that.
Stop that.
But everybody who I call family, I looked out for. You know what I'm saying? The first time I got a chance to. And the thing about this is, this is not a since I got a deal thing. I was doing that before. You know what I'm saying?
It didn't change with the success of the music.
Exactly.
It's what it was all the way through.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Before it was Griselda, before it was Black Soprano Family, when I was just running around in the streets. You know what I'm saying? That was the position I played. You know what I mean?
So another point that is so, because family is so strong to me with, like I said, with your solo career, the BSF career, the Griselda, and something that's been a connection to hip hop since we were young. Is the Italian culture, mob culture.
Yeah.
From Scarface to Goodfellas, right, to Casino, but then you go all the way to the Sopranos, but then Wu Gambinos. It's like we always adopted this culture, And when BSF came, I was like, okay, it's back again.
There go again.
I hear a lot of references of, I think you said on one of the lines, it's like, we are Tony and. Without Gina, we was Tony. I forgot what you said.
Oh yeah. What I say? I said me and Bono. We Tony and I said minus Gina. You Tony, because I got my homeboy named Bono. I said me and Bono minus Gina. We Tony and Manolo.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
When I heard that, I was like, damn. If she wasn't in, them niggas still be good. But it should be deeper. Like,
you feel me?
I be having this hit pause and be like, hold on, let me.
I'm happy you catch those lines because they try to act like it's not lines like they're like that in hip hop. They just overlooking them.
But you know what it is? It's your lines. What it's like, and I don't want to rush to my questions, but you on Def Jam,
right?
The greatest storyteller is number one to me is Slick Rick. Nas is two. Yet in a bar, in a 2-bar, your 2 bars is a story behind the 2 bars.
For sure.
So like. Literally, when I broke down that Gene, I said, yo, this nigga's basically saying, like, these niggas still would be good.
That's it.
If it wasn't for this chick. Like,
that's it.
But that's out of your 16, you might get 4 of those. Out of every, it's like, if you listen and pay attention, it's like, I'm going to give you more than that. But the point I was going back to is that you adopted the Italian culture and the mob culture. So what is it that you think, why do we run to that? And like, in our community of hip hop, because it's always been successful, it makes it the music, one of the Wu Gambinos and
we love that.
We love it. But what do you think? The Firm, exactly.
Firm,
it's so many examples, and now you took it to another level when I was like, yo, the Black Soprano. But what two parts? Like, what is it about that Italian culture, mob? Movies that we love in hip hop, and why does it connect so much?
Because a lot of people don't like it neither. They say we worshiping white niggas. They say we worshiping. You know what I'm saying? But it's like this. I believe in my mind that I'm a gangster. You know what I'm saying? And I don't say that to glorify the life. I say that, you know, from the life that I chose, the path that what it took me down, and my experiences by default makes me a gangster. So I'm not like I'm not an old dog gangster.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
And those a lot of black gangsters are like that.
Yeah.
I'm not an old dog gangster.
You're a different gangster.
I could relate. You know, I could relate to Al Capone. You know what I'm saying? More to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the way we
old dog.
move. You know what I mean? Like speaking in silence. You know what I'm saying? And just moving a certain way. Well dressed. You know what I'm saying?
Fly.
Well spoken. You know what I mean? So we relate to that too. Like we relate to old dog. I think that's why a lot of us attract that. It's just basically another way of saying we fly gangsters. You know what I'm saying? We ain't loud. We bosses too. We other things that just, you know, loud gun toters, if even that. You know what I'm saying? Like we're businessmen, we're hustlers. I think that says that too. That's why I put the black in front of it, but I can't lie, you know what I mean? I did Fed time, I've been locked up with people in the Lucchese family and the Gambino family. And it's all love, you know what I'm saying?
You learned on a different level too.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying? I can't convey that in a record. I can't tell people or in a comment on Instagram. They say, yo, why I can't explain. Like I was really locked up. I ate food and we shared stories and we actually had friends in common back home in Buffalo. So I identify with them on a different level than you. You just seen a couple movies. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean?
For me, I think, you know, it's things in that culture, like it's things in that culture we glorify and want to be, but I feel like we don't strive to do it because
right. I'm with you on that.
You know, we looked at the mob movies in the Italian and it's like they really a family.
Right.
And it's a loyalty factor.
100%.
And it like we it's like a jewel I live by. I'm like, don't wear Nike in life if you just don't want to do it.
100%.
Like how can you
I get it.
every day be like, I'm wearing those, but if my mentality is not just do it. You know what I mean? It's like McDonald's. I'm loving it. I love the fries for real.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like when I've looked at like people that like wanted to glorify that life, glorify the part of the life that's real, that really had values and morals.
Yeah, 100%. Don't glorify the bullshit, man.
Yeah.
And man, our brothers, man, we had an interesting spot right now. You know what I mean? Where a lot of us is successful as we ever been. And it's like where we gonna do with it? Where we gonna go with it, or what we gonna do with it?
What's next?
Right, what's next? It's a lot of yellow tape because of the community we come from.
Yep.
Very territorial. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's sad. I ain't gonna hold you. It's sad, and I wish it was different. But like you said, we glorify that because we inspired by the family aspect of the mafia.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And we want that for us, our brothers.
Yeah.
It ain't about glorifying them or worshiping them. You know what I'm saying? We take pieces from everything that we like and put it to our own thing. You know what I mean?
So let's go into your process, man, because now, you know, going through this timeline, you know, I try to have these like I always say, these are not interviews, these are conversations.
For sure.
And I want to, like, if somebody was just sitting here in the room with us, they could jump in and feel like they're a part of it. And like, now it's like I'm understanding, like, you know, from the block to the jail, to the college, to the OGs, to dad, the work ethic, you've seen it all your life.
100%.
And then, you know, that what we're talking about, these stories and this learning and this vulnerability and being 100% all the way across the board. When it comes down to your process, and you have done songs with some of the greats already, from the Wayne, couple songs with Wayne, you know, the Cole, the 2 Chainz, just every level of artist.
A bunch of them, for real.
You know, and it was, Griselda got adopted into hip hop, like with open arms, you know.
Like no other. And at a rate nobody never seen.
And to me, I don't know if you ever heard this comparison, like you were like Ghostface. But like, because the Wu came, I think Ghost was in jail. And then, you know, when he came, everybody thought it was meth and it was Ray. And then Ghost came and everybody was like, oh shit.
Right.
And then, you know, that's how Griselda was. It was like, oh, Westside, this nigga's art, MC art. And then it's
no real shit.
Khan is,
you got Khan, he just obliterating shit
this
on the
nigga
mic.
was the Terminator with the first physical different form, but loved him forever. And then here comes this butcher But to me, it was like, okay, this is different. You know, it's the believable. It's the stories. It's the, and you know, the third person in the leg of a race who get that baton, you gotta be the race is on you.
You gotta be that guy.
Yeah,
you're the closer.
Yeah, you can't.
You're the closer.
You can't get that baton. They holding it out like this.
And
like,
I believe that. And I believe like, you know, like I closed it up. I made it.
It's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like when they ask what I brought to Griselda, I say validity. What I mean is like you seen Wes do it, you seen Conway do it, and then when you see me do it, it was no question.
It was the race is over.
It was over.
Even
There was no
Derringer,
question.
you seen Derringer do it.
Exactly. You seen Diesel do it, and it was nothing to question. It was just respected. You know what I'm saying? We the collective. We here.
So and it's always everything is in trinities anyway. So the process of like when it's time to, you know, do the records on your own, because to me it's like you could tell some artists do records and it's like the solo records are different from a record with an artist.
Yeah,
feature.
right.
Some artists get a record that wait till they get the verse back and go in. I don't even not knowing, but what is the process of you writing? Because your writing it seems like you're always writing for greatness. You know,
100%, man. Well, my process first and foremost, like I'm in the studio a lot. But I'm running around a lot and I'm thinking of shit a lot. So I might go in the lab with ideas. I might not even have bars, but I got ideas. I might got a topic I want to speak on. Or I might have the bar already, but it's not an opening line. So I just put it in a corner. So I'm definitely walking in the studio with ideas. You know what I'm saying? You know that's a cheat code. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Like I said, it's an old man's game. They think it's a young nigga's game. This is an old man's game. You got to walk in the game prepared. Who don't walk in the game prepared? You know what I'm saying?
And but today's culture, it is a lot. Some people walk in the game and be like, yo, my drip, I just got the sample Gucci bag. I don't even got me on tonight.
Yeah, but we don't count that shit.
I'm just saying, but in the world.
You're right. That goofy shit they doing, they got to stop that because, I'm saying, because it's like, that is, we don't hold that to where we hold this shit at. And I think they don't give a fuck because they got the Gucci bags or whatever they got. Yeah. But we don't hold that to where we hold this at. And I listen to all that young shit and all them young artists, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it be like a little awkward when they get a little too big for their britches. They get a little awkward. It's like, who's gonna tell them that shit is trash?
Man,
we fuck with you.
Yeah.
You feeding your family, you doing that, but who's gonna tell them? You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna hold you. That's how I be feeling.
So in saying that and knowing the process, right? It's like you keep it's like it's a feeling like the best competition I live by is yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not.
That's who you're really competing with.
Yeah, that's who I'm competing with.
The man in the mirror.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not worried about what nobody say, nobody think. You know, I'm playing with toys before anybody was playing with toys. I'm having all what people call weird is now called art. And when you accepted by the greats, the big brothers, you have the OGs you look up to in the street game, the gangsters, people in the jails, Khan. What is that momentum that's still driving you after, because you pretty much have everything you wanted, and it's really like, it's like those checkpoints. And me just looking at you in life and career and hearing your story, you checked a lot of boxes already. For sure.
And man, to be honest, I still want to. I want to be like the OGs. I want to be like back in the day. I wanted to be like who Ray was in the 2000s. I still want to be like 2024 Ray. He that nigga.
It's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a fact.
When I'm that age, when I got that much time in the game, I want to be able to move like him. I want to be able to go on tour because I love the art. I want to be able to go on tour. I want to be able to, to pop up in my jewels looking fly and shit. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Waves spinning. You know what I'm saying, bro? You know what I mean? Unc look good. You know what I mean?
Killing it, right?
They doing their shit. I want to be them. You see Hove popping up in pics with his wife and shit. You know what I'm saying? Hair growing beautifully. You see Nas on a run. And I'm saying, killing shit with Hit Boy. I want to be like the OGs. I'm saying?
It's amazing that, because that's something you don't even hear nobody say that I want to be like the OGs no more.
Man, I got good. Listen, and these my big homies since I met them. I want to be like the OGs, man. I had other big homies who let me on the other things. I wanted to be like them too.
It's facts.
And I did that, and I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be like the OGs, man. They doing this shit right. I seen Ice-T on the red carpet at the Grammys. I was with my wife. He was with his, and he was like, I seen him in the corner of my eye, and he was like, yo, I know they don't let the gangsters in this motherfucker. And I'm looking around and I'm like,
who
he
comes
talking to me? You know what I'm saying? That's Ice-T talking to me, and see he looking good, his beautiful wife, he on the Grammy carpet. You know what I'm saying?
You right there.
After sliding across the floor at 6 a.m. and shit, after all of that. I want to be like that nigga. I want to be like Ice-T, nigga.
That's fine. That's fine.
Real shit.
Nah, shout out, man, to the OGs. That just to hear people saying they still want to be like OGs is a line that's not even heard that much out there.
Real shit.
So we're gonna go into another level of families for you, which is the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
You after
dogs.
OJ, it's to me the marketing power. The team started getting good, but you took them in another place. You took them. You know, I was seeing you and Gunn on the sideline and seeing y'all at the away games in the jerseys and that was before y'all even got with the team, but y'all put it on your back, and I was like, they already the Bills family before y'all got with them. Like, where did it start? I think I heard you say you used to clean the stadium as a kid.
I used to clean the stadium. I had this when I was taking college classes. And I had a girlfriend at the time, and her brother, she had set it up so her brother could work there. So her brother didn't show up, and she got her brother the job, so she put up to the man to talk to him face to face. I'm like, shit, baby, I'll do it. She's like, you do? I'm like, I'll do it. And I started that day, and I was in the suites cleaning up, and it was dope. You feel what I'm saying? It was dope. I worked for Janet King. That was the name of the company. And I'm a Bills fan. I had never been to a game.
Before you started working there?
Exactly. So that was my first time in a stadium. So I'm thinking like, damn.
I made it. I did it.
Like real shit. Like I gotta come to a game one of these days. And that was how I went to a game, because I was cleaning up during games. So I loved it. You know what I'm saying? I've been to like my first 4 games I was working at the stadium cleaning the suites. I got lucky that I'm cleaning the suites, that I'm not like cleaning the regular shit or
and all
doing
that,
the popcorn and no crazy
with
shit.
the hot dogs on the ground.
Yeah, I ain't doing no shit like that. I got lucky. So that was my first experience, and then I got an opportunity to do some merch for the Bills.
Yeah, the collection with the
exactly, when I'm throwing the Pyrex on a shirt, and for them to buy into the culture, that says a lot about them.
How did it? You know, I always have this thing that's called the moment before. You know, we get to see the results, but we never get to understand, like, you know, how did it happen? Was what the call, like, you know, like we see what y'all doing, because, you know, when I seen it, it was a happy, you know, it's something about sports and men that I wish I could transfer sports and men to every category of life.
Right.
You know, I seen the J cosign, the Snoop, but when I seen the Bills,
that was different.
It was different.
That was different. NFL is different.
It's different. No, it's something with the blood pressure in sports and men. It was like, I said, this might be better. This feeling for him might be better than the whole Tanner series, because it was a kid. I see you was a kid on the sideline. Like,
that's it.
I said, yo, this ain't got nothing to do with the chains. This ain't got nothing to do with the stove. He's down there happy. Like,
that's family.
What was that moment like for you when it now, like, because now they went from cleaning, now even not the merch, but you like, yo, I'm really here. I'm like that acceptance with the Bills, and like you, when I see you with the Bills as family, the players love you. You should like you. What was that moment of arriving to that Bills moment?
Man, it was dope. It was dope. It felt like I'm part of the team sometimes. And people who not sports fans, I know they talk about shit like that, but they don't understand. You know what I'm saying? So it's not for them. They don't understand. I definitely feel like I was part of the team. And shout out to Ron. Man, what's Ron's last name? Rakuya. Man, shout out Ron Rakuya, man. He was the what was his position over there? He was the vice president of the Bills, and he's not there no more. But he responsible for our relationship with the Bills. But even after meeting everybody through him, it was still like a family. He's not there no more. But I gotta shout out Ron. You know what I'm saying? He's a stand-up guy. He used to be a sports agent, so he like guided us a lot through that and provided those opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Through my boy Tony De Niro.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, my Italian brothers.
They go back to the BSF world.
You feel what I'm saying?
So let's go into another family, which is your Def Jam family.
Yeah.
You know, like, for me, the whole compound is based on Def Jam. You know, when it comes to culture, it's, you know, it's Def Jam, with Def Comedy Jam, Def Poetry Jam, and video games with Def Jam Vendetta. You know, it's the Cranberry Jacket, it's the Turntable Arm, it's the legacy of the pen of the people from Chuck D to LL.
Right.
to Meth to Kanye to Jay, with the whole world of you, the fam was on Shady, killing it at the time. M's on fire, 50's on fire. Paul rolls the dice and sees the West Side in them and makes that marriage. But then you in the cut, and now the Cranberry Turntable calls you. Like,
yeah,
with that legacy, what is that like for you? Because, Def Jam needed something. Mm-hmm. They needed something bad.
Man, it's legendary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's nothing short of legendary.
Yep.
With the Griselda story,
Yep.
Coming to Def Jam, like, where Def Jam at right now. I got offers to go to labels who was on fire. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me.
Yep.
I ain't want no part of that. That didn't feel at home.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm old school. And I'm a Buffalo nigga, so I'm enjoying all of this. I take all of it for what it's worth. I'm not here. It ain't about the money to me. And I swear it ain't about the money to me. It's about the feeling, and it's about transparency, and it's about what we doing, what we creating. I love Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? And I love to be a part of what's going on there. And I love sharing that with my family, and I love the resources that they help me with. I love the way they help me, but you know what I'm saying? I love that shit. That's nothing short of legendary. I'm from Buffalo, New York. You know what I'm saying? And I get to share that piece of history with all the greats. I get to go down in history with all the greats by being part of the label. You know what I'm saying?
It's a fact.
It's big.
But the quality of the MCs they sign, you fit
exactly
in there perfectly.
100%. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want people to ignore that. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy you up here pointing this shit out. You know what I'm saying? They gonna make it seem like, Def Jam just signed another artist. Man, they know that's not what's going on. I'm Benny the Butcher. You understand? So that's a perfect marriage coming from my situation and never doing nothing major ever in my career solo. So, you know what I'm saying? That's big. You know what I mean?
The way I look at it, like when you think about Def Jam, right? You had Slick Rick in the starts, and like you had the mink coats, you had the jewelry, you had the eye patch, many cultures with them. You take Public Enemy, you had the logo, you had the S1Ws, you had Terminator X, more culture. You go to Benny the Butcher, you got jewelry, you got fashion, you got street, you got the
sideburns.
I didn't even know those.
Ain't gonna get these is my trademark.
But the crazy thing when you just said that, the first sideburns was Def Jam though.
Right.
Was Luda. Yeah. Right. So I don't know if that's the Def Jam. You and Luda need to do the record called the Sideburns, and it's out of here. Like,
no real shit. I'm gonna hit Luda up about that.
Yeah, nah, it's a fact, y'all. Like, Luda, the Sideburn record is serious. The barbershop's gonna be on fire. But
the niggas gonna be running around with the sideburns. You know what I'm saying? Watch.
Nah, that's just you and Luda too on a record is serious.
No, for sure, man. He's a spitter. I'm definitely was a Luda fan.
And when Luda went to the street, because Luda was the Atlanta Redman to me. Another Def Jam.
That's a good way to explain it.
It's
definitely
same person. But when Luda makes that left turn and give you the street, he's a Benny the Butcher. It's just you can't even take nothing away from him. But so now I'm gonna go into culture, because like I said, you have a lot of pillars in your repertoire.
I do.
And something we touched on earlier is like the street culture and the way from the streets. When you break that down into all these different realms of like, now you doing cigars, your merch. It's Griselda already had a merch play, but you came with the merch different.
Right.
You came with even the merch with the Buffalo Bills. How do you take that mentality of what you learned in the street and apply it to all these different lanes?
Being matter of fact about it. You know what I'm saying? And this business, like you apply the same tactics, right? But some things people from the street don't feel comfortable doing in this business. You got to be matter of fact about it. Like, if somebody owe you some money, you're gonna be on their line. If you hand somebody something in the streets, you're gonna be on their line about the paper. Like in this business, if you got business going with somebody, you might have to ring their phone a few times so they can get it done. Don't be like, man, I ain't calling them niggas. No, we calling them niggas.
You gotta call them.
We calling them. What we doing? We ain't sitting around on our hands. Call them niggas. We holding each other accountable.
Yep.
Yo, who fault was that? Whose spot was that? Who's supposed to been over there?
Over there, yep.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I pride myself on my team because Benny the Butcher, I'm just the face of it. But I got people working behind me who, you know what I'm saying, who hold it down. And, you know, that's from the street too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody got a different job, you know what I mean? And we all bosses and we coming together. And, you know, just a lot of shit. The relentlessness. You know what I mean? Like you said, cigars from to Leafs,
yep.
to a sports agency, to merch, to movies. It's like if we on a block, if we what you got? You think we can move that? You sure? How much? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We didn't come here to start a sports agency. That's how it ended up. We didn't come here to do brand deals with
cigars or whatever.
Monster Energy drink and all of this, but we here for it though. You know what I'm saying?
Was it of course everything is a process, but was it easy for you taking the world of the street and be like, oh, I just gotta flip this and twist that and apply this, or was it more of a learning process through it?
Man, it was easy, man. I promise you. Ever since I was 16, I had a plug fall on my lap. Def Jam, my new plug. That's it.
That's a fact.
Ever since I was 16, I had a plug fall on my lap. My friends will tell you. You know what I mean? It's like the hand of God. You know what I mean? I've been blessed by the hand of God. You know what I mean? And I'm just in another situation. I just met a new tobacco plug, Big Dog Leafs. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I just did a brand deal with a company where, trust me, I'm gonna do so much with this company. The best leaf you could ever find. You know what I'm saying? Connecticut grown leaf right here in the States. You know what I'm saying? And I do brands with people all the time, but it's like, honestly, I feel like I could take over this. You feel what I'm saying?
Every lane that you get to involve yourself in.
I feel like I could take over this, man. Real shit.
Nah, I mean, it's definitely, you know, I live by, you build it, they will come. You know what I mean?
Man, 100%. That's how it is, man. And what separates people is the hard work.
Yeah.
It's not the money, man.
It's not the money.
It's the hard work. The money comes after the hard work.
Yeah,
That's the result of the hard work.
The money's already there.
Exactly.
You just got to put the work in to get it.
Yeah, people don't understand that, but when I see people not around ready to roll their sleeves up, I fucking love it. I love it. I know people now, man, I've been doing interviews all day. Everybody keep checking, yo, you good? I'm straight. We used to stand on a block.
Yeah,
we used to stand on a corner in the cold.
Like this.
We doing interviews and getting rolled around in a Cadillac truck. We okay?
I'm good.
Exactly.
If I can't do this, I don't deserve it.
Exactly. And everybody, like I was talking to my manager, he was like, yo, everybody telling me how good you're going. Like, and that just let me know, like, man, you know, the artists that these people work with, they probably don't be on that.
Nah, it's a
and
fact.
that baffles me. You know where we fucking come from to doing this shit? So, man, I'm ready to roll my sleeves up, put that pain in. That's what's going to separate everybody.
So the name of your album is My Parents Going Somewhere and I Couldn't Go, which killed me. You know, it was my man when he had the Acura NSX, and it was a 2-seater, and he said the name of your album, and I was like, it's when I wasn't in the game, and they was like, we only letting 3 in the club tonight, baby, 3 in the club, and I was like,
remember them nights?
But I'm putting all these scenarios together for the name of the album that's real. And when I heard Everyone Can't Go, I said, this is your whole life. But it goes back to, if you put the work in, you can go.
You can go. That's what people don't realize. It's called Everybody Can't Go. I ain't say nobody can go. I just said everybody can go. So it's some people who punch their own ticket by the work they put in. Yeah. I'm one of the persons who punched my ticket.
It's a fact.
I know everybody can go. I tell people this all the time. Like, yeah, people thought I was about to be Wes. I'd be sitting around Wes asking this nigga Wes and Conway for favors, trying to call these niggas and borrow money and become a burden on these niggas. Hell no. I punched my ticket. I got the opportunity and I made the most of it. And when you reach a certain point in the game, people around you gonna have those opportunities and they gotta make the most of it. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can't go. Some people can though.
So when it come up, you know, Pyrex Picasso, you know, Tanner Talks, now Everyone Can't Go. What is that? Is it, let me get all the songs together, or is it Everybody Can't Go from the start? Now I'm in the mindset of how to put the project together. Is it the project name, and then the music, or the music and then the project?
Man, I really name all my projects first to put me in a mindset.
To set the mood.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, Everybody Can't Go. I know what I'm working on. You know what I mean? And I theme all of my projects.
It's a fact.
And, you know, that helped me stay centered on the subject.
Keeps you coming to a point.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And, shout out Hit Boy. Shout out Alchemist. And as soon as we went in, I remember my first session with Hit Boy in Vegas. And I just looked around and, you know what I mean? And I'm like, it's time. You know what I mean? I got excited. I'm like, it's time. Everybody can go. And I dug in, you know what I'm saying?
So another thing that, like I said earlier, the sports world is a part of your world, you know? It's a record. Shouts out to EP. I got to hit Bron.
Yeah.
You know, I pulled the toys out for you in the pound. I pulled
Yes,
out all the Brons for you.
I see you.
What is it, you know, about Bron and even that song that made you, you know, you're heavy. I always still feel like, shouts out to Matt Barnes one time. He was like, Free, you work like an athlete. You work in the hustle, the way I do business is like the mind of an athlete. I look at you the same way. I look at a lot of artists. It's like you put the 1,000 shots in the gym is what you do in the music. And then when I heard Bron as a record, I said, he did it again. Before I heard the record, you know, what was the mindset of doing a record called Bron, and what is that record about actually?
Man, I'm very much so inspired by bro. You know what I mean? Even going back to the story with Another Bad Creation. Those guys was our age. And they inspired us. Me and Bron is the same age. And remember, you know, a lot of people gonna call me crazy, but it's the truth. When he was drafted in the league, I was in federal prison. I was being drafted in a different way. You feel what I'm saying? And the pressure that was on him under greats, I feel like I had the pressure on me the same way.
Under greats also.
You know what I mean? So maybe I'm just a fan, but I do find parallels in our career. You know what I mean? Just from them small things and even how he won you know, him and AD just won the championship, the Lakers, you know what I'm saying? You know, they call it the Mickey Mouse Championship. I count that motherfucker. Yeah, I count it though, because if he wouldn't have won, they would be talking about some shit about him. If he didn't win it with the Lakers, they'd be saying some shit. So it's like, you know, we back in championship condition. We done it again. You know what I'm saying? And this is how he, like, this is my favorite part of the record, how, you know, how he went from Cleveland to Miami.
To Miami, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then he went back.
Yep.
And then he won a chip. And then he went to LA. You know what I'm saying?
And won another chip. Real
shit is like, in my song, I said, after the chip, I told my folks back home, so long. I moved my family and my bricks to a place where it's warm. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I got up out of there too. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I went after I won a chip, I moved out of town too. After I did it big for my city. You know what I'm saying? For my area, I had to leave too. You know what I'm saying? But I made sure they see my face, and I made sure I did it at home first. You know what I mean?
So to end it all up, man, because I feel like I went, you know, I did the whole timeline of Benny, you know, from family to sports to, you know, the influences and everything. And a lot of artists get to do these, you know, interviews, and it never get turned around to like, what do you want to say? If you know what I mean? Like, it's not even a question for me, but, you know, it's always a moment of like, if this was my last thing I had to say, and to whoever, to the world, to the industry, what do you want to put out there? You know, like, it's never a lot of artists and people who get these opportunities to speak, they never get to really say what they want to say.
They never do, man. And I appreciate you for that, man. I just want to let people know, man, I am who I say I am, you know, and the music is just a byproduct of my personality, you know what I'm saying, and the things that I've been through. You know what I'm saying, as a guy from the streets, as a hustler, as a rapper, as a father, as a husband, you know what I mean? And I put some of the dopest shit out, and Griselda, we gonna live forever. Trust me, this music gonna live forever, and people gonna come back to these moments 15, 20 years from now and see what we did and the climate that we done it in, and they gonna appreciate it way more than what they do right now, and it's all good. But everybody can't go January 26th. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving everything. You know what I'm saying? A refined hustler. If you're looking for the old Benny the Butcher, I'm sorry you won't find him. I don't know him. You feel what I'm saying? Like how could I?
But,
you know what I mean?
Back to your tagline, it's always a new butcher coming.
It's always a new butcher coming.
It's always
exactly.
a new butcher coming.
You know, and the old Benny the Butcher to y'all was the new Benny the Butcher to me. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm in a new spot right now, and we're gonna continue to deliver. You can expect nothing less. You know what I mean? That's it. We love y'all, man. God bless.
My guy. Thank you, my J.
Yes, sir.
Let's make a round of applause, Benny the Butcher, y'all.